live stream.
Is she coming on?
I don't know. But we'll talk about it whether she comes on or not. You know what I mean? She just probably got scared. Got it. Okay, we're live, guys. So we're talking today about Kelly Jefferies, and some of this stuff. She's approached us for a cry for help, basically. And Andy, you've done a bit of work on it, on the case, all we're doing is investigating whether it's a real case or not. That's all, nothing more. And you've done some inquiries on her behalf, Andy, to try and see, was there actually a court case? Was there a prosecution?
Yeah, just the standard basics of what formed this.
Yeah.
Just to check the validity of the fact that what they're claiming is a court case or is it not,
Yeah.
Just standard proof, i.e., can we see the file? Can we see the case file? Can we see the public record of what's been laid at the court? Yeah.
And have you found anything legit?
It's the case in all cases, isn't it? You're stonewalled.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing to show.
I mean,
even though the freedom of information states, what it is, and that it's put before the judge, and that parties of the case are given it if they request the information that the department hold on them. So you're told one thing, but they just totally ignore that, even though you're given the information that it's yours to be shown, that they just won't show. Confusing.
I mean, I'm not even concerned about freedom of information, because they use that. They should call it the Concealment Act.
No, I'm just saying that in their own words is even and in the procedures, it's yours to be shown. You are entitled to it 100%.
Of course, but we don't even need the procedures. Someone sue you, they're going to show you the lawsuit. It's just so she started off, actually. Most people think it started off with them taking her child, but in fact, it started with a repossession of her house. They took out a possession order, fake one, obviously. And then I think they were not confident to serve it to the Royal Mail, because that would be malicious communication. So they got a gentleman to serve it. I can't remember his name. But we checked him at Company's House. He says he's a bailiff. Why do you get a bailiff to serve a possession order? Possession. And then we check the bailiff register, and he's not on there.
Yep.
So it's 100% not a legitimate person, and the document he served, they are finding this quite often nowadays. They try to bypass the post office because they're sending illegal documents through the post. And that's George and I have been doing it. I know I've done this a few times before, but I have a bunch of these stickers I use. I just put it back on the envelope and put it back in the post, because the post office is supposed to prosecute them if they use the service to send you counterfeit documents.
Right.
So I think that's probably why they sent an illegal bailiff to deliver the papers, because the same thing happened in Jason's case. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then they told him to destroy the papers.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. And because she was concerned about the house being repossessed, she done a fire sale of her house. She sold it cheap, just to avoid the illegal repossession. And then after that, they said they had a child protection order and took her child. So now she's been fighting it and, you know, trying to get the child back and stuff. And then the police came and arrested her and saying she abducted the child because the child was in the possession of social services. But the police haven't investigated the possession to see if it was legitimate.
Hold on. The child wasn't in possession of social services. The child was still in possession of Kelly. It was
Okay.
she left her home, and it was social services then went and got a thing. You know, she went on holiday, and the social services then went and got her
Her child.
Well, they got a fake court order, or said they got a court order to get the police involved, and then the police, you know, did a child kidnapping charge.
The police took the child. I mean, how come once the police get involved, they have to investigate the whole thing, not just take a little piece and take sides.
It's paper terrorism, isn't it? At the end of the day, the police, they follow orders. They get given pieces of paper and they follow their orders. They never do their due diligence to check to see whether or not the piece of paper they've been given is authentic and valid and been issued by a court, because nothing has been issued by the court. Nothing.
And I think the police know, because carry on, Danny.
Sorry, one of the documents that Kelly's actually got, the very few documents, because she's never received one of the council bundles or, you know, the claims from the court, or not even that. She's been restricted of being given anything of why they've taken a child. Possibly because she can't go to the news media because of all the, you know, the stuff that went on. But yeah, in the few documents that she's got, it actually says mother stopped paying what do you call it, her mortgage, so to make herself homeless, her and her son homeless purposely, you know. So, you know, that's one of the reasons they put in the documents to take it.
So,
you know,
but
why
she sold the house
child.
because of a false possession paperwork. That's so how come do you know the council is legally responsible to investigate illegal eviction? So how come they want to get involved to take her child, but they don't want to investigate the illegal eviction that forced her to sell her house? This is what's our council called again? Exeter? No.
Bristol
Council. So then they took the child, they're having these shenanigans going on. And then the police said she assaulted the police because something happened. And then they arrested her in the magistrate court. And then I'm just truncating the conversation because there's many incidents, but they then came to her sister's house. That's Nikki. They then so
I've got a video of that actually if you want.
Yeah, but the thing is, they came to Nikki's house with a summons. They sent a summons and it was the wrong address. So Nikki took it to the council and said this got the wrong address. That's how innocent people are, yeah. And the people at the council took a pen and changed the address on the so-called court summons.
Yeah.
They changed the address by hand, and then
without the slip rule of the court, being applied.
Can I show you a photo?
Yeah,
Can I show you a photograph of what actually happened? Because while Kelly was away from her home and the police broke in and they had control of her home for 3 months, she, actually, when she finally got back to her home, she found under a settee that somebody had scribbled some, you know, it says, "Will kill full-grown lady dead." Can I share the screen?
Yeah, and that's not malicious communication.
Well, to me, it's they're threatening the mother that they're going to kill her.
Yeah. That's a death threat.
Yeah, it wasn't her that wrote that or whatever. So, you know, the police only had access to a house. Oh, and by the way, 2 police actually went down to a house. She'd actually given them keys to after they arrested her because she needed to get them to pick something up for her because she was in the police cells, and they actually arrested these 2 police officers for going into a house for, like, I think it was common burglary, or, you know.
They arrested the police officers?
Yep.
Oh, who arrested the
I
police?
mean, you'd have to ask Kelly a bit more about that.
Okay.
But yeah, they actually, it was unbelievable that they arrested 2 of their own.
Wow. But more like they're looking at the wrong crime, because the crime is someone's counterfeiting court documents and taking a child, you know.
Yep.
So
really focus on you know what I mean. I'll keep reiterating this, putting the cart before the horse, because this is exactly what it is. This is spellcasting. They're putting it into your head that there is something there when it never was. Like, you know what I mean? Before something can be, it's got to be established. So let's see what is, like, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
yeah,
Before
so then there are all, then after that they said she assaulted a police officer, and then she has to go to the magistrate court. Then she went to the magistrate court on one occasion, and she was saying, you know, what's the name of the judge? One time she asked the judge, I think it's her name, and she got up and run out and never came back. Another time, I think it's that same time, the police arrested her for failing to appear. They arrested her in the court. They were in the court, at the court, and arrested her for failing to appear.
Yeah, and get this as well. Lucy Reed, the league had, I think, counsel for the legal department of I think it's Bristol Council, or whoever's adopting a child out. Her previous firm was the firm that was representing her son Knox and Knox's special guardian as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, they're doing it from both sides.
That's the one milking the legal aid on the fakery, yeah?
Yeah. And Knox wasn't allowed his own, you know, he wasn't allowed his own legal representative that maybe Kelly could find herself that would be more fair to her, you know. So it's, you know.
Yeah. But I'm interested in the documents and the court proceedings and the computer records, you know. And the thing is, at one time she said that time that I was talking about, the officer handcuffed her and was shoving her in the back of the car, and her legs touched him or something. I don't think he had any bruises or anything. So now they put another charge. So she said charge on a charge on a charge for assaulting the officer. So we had all these various magistrate court cases. None of them is, the CPS can't produce a single one of these prosecutions at all. So she went to the magistrate's court the other day, and they couldn't produce the case, and they kept her there all day, and she stuck to the guns. Where is the prosecution? It was a Friday, and then they didn't do anything after that. They kind of, I don't know, they abandoned the court. And then the Saturday she got a letter saying there is no case, something like from the CPS, because this CPS can't produce nothing. Rebecca Lawrence, I mean, what's the one above Rebecca Lawrence? Max Hill.
Max Hill, yeah.
He's going this month. There's so many people going to him and say, where is the prosecution? And he can't produce. He's putting in his resignation. And Kelly has contacted Rebecca Lawrence, and it's such a serious matter. You're talking, you know, and then she got angry and she, I don't know what she wrote, a letter about child trafficking and whatever. And then it says malicious communication. So all these fake documents coming in the court are not malicious. Coming in her mail is not malicious communication, but she expressed some anger. And that's malicious communication. So they said they prosecuted her. So she's asking them, where is the prosecution? She got a letter from a judge, Judge Klein or something, signed. For once, we got a piece of paper signed by allegedly a judge. Unfortunately, the judge also sealed the letter, put the court seal on, or somebody put the court seal on the letter. You can't put a court seal on general correspondence. Is there a seal on the order to take the child or the house? Is there a proper court seal on there? So she wrote back and said, well, Judge Klein, you can't say, you're not allowed to interfere in the administration of the court. And you can't, how dare you are putting a court seal on an administrative letter? And thirdly, you sent me all this stuff and you didn't send the prosecution. So she scanned it all and emailed it back because she supposedly have a trial in the Exeter Crown Court and they block her email. Just imagine this. How can you have a trial if they block your email? Anyway, she she found a way to bypass it and sent it by the recorded post. So they sent us, she went in for a trial and this Judge Klein, she was asking, where is the, what am I answering to? Where's the lay of information? You know, who filed a claim on me? Who is the accuser? What's the evidence? All this. And Judge Klein says, well, you're in contempt of court if I'm going to lock you up. They had a security man jingling his keys behind her.
Fear tactics, by the way, people. Just fear tactics. Just let you.
Yeah. Fear. They put the fear of God in her.
This is the fear-based mind control that they do to try and make you make a mistake, to get you scared, so you make mistakes. Come on. Sorry.
Yeah, so they said it was a plea hearing, and she says, "What am I pleading to? I can't. I'm happy to enter a plea. I just want to see the prosecution. They can't produce, but the judge is bullying. The judge says, "Okay, I'm going to enter not guilty plea for you on your behalf." You can't do that. Yeah, you can't enter.
Well, he's just become a solicitor, hasn't he?
Right.
He's just become a barrister.
Right. So they want to push forward with a trial when there is no prosecution. This is like Jason. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, she put a complaint on the judge that he was abusive and threatening and all these things, which I would do if I was treated like that. And then they sent her again another bundle of papers because she's asking where is the prosecution. Yeah, so they want to proceed to the next step, and they said she should call witnesses. So she looked in it, there was no prosecution. So she did the same thing again. Thank you for your bundle of papers. Unfortunately, there is no prosecution in here for me to respond to. How can I have a trial? I don't see. So that what they're doing with many people, they're sending out these junk papers and people respond to it as if it was a prosecution. And they're having a jury like with me. They send me, I think, 150 pages of stuff. That time I didn't know the wheat from the chaff. They even had a jury trial on the fake papers.
Yeah.
And did a lot of other things and published in the media. I mean, this racketeering is crazy. And at the bottom of it is bloody child trafficking.
Certainly is, mate.
So she's got now, let me see. What's this? Kelly's in the waiting room. Where she can't make her mind up. Um,
Now you can get it from the horse's mouth, so to say.
yeah. Yeah, so this I mean, she is a fiery person and blah 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 blah, but that doesn't give anybody a right to make up all this counterfeit. You know?
Well, you can't stick a pin in somebody and then do them for shouting.
Right.
That's what they're doing, you know what I mean? Fiery person. No, she'd have been nothing but what she normally would have been, bar being hurt. And when you're in pain, you make noise. So don't call about the noise when you've caused the pain. You know, they can't produce any legitimacy for the reasons for why they've done. They can't prove any authority. They just claim it. It's just words. Words without substance can be dismissed without substance. Full stop. Hitchens razor. The fact is, the burden of proof is on them and they're obligated to provide it. But they just continue and continue without nothing, which causes even more pain. And then when you start to shout to try and get justification and get sight for clarification, all they do is stonewall you, which is, again, intimidation. And then threats. This is all intimidation.
Organized violent crime.
100%.
Understand?
Yeah.
Using the facilities as a weapon. Basically to traffic children. You know, that's what they tried to take my child at the time. All this probation and Rosendales, concentrics. You know, we found out Rosendale is Marston's. So illegal bailiffs, all the time they're working with these illegal bailiffs. So how come that's not being investigated? You know, I'm very thrilled to hear about they arrested the 2 police who attended her home. They should arrest them for falsely arresting her. False arrest. I don't know what they arrest her for burglar. You know, it was very, very interesting twist.
Maybe Kelly can clear that matter up on that point.
Yeah, she's muted. Do I have to unmute her?
No, Kelly has to. Well, she has to unmute. You can't unmute. You can ask her to unmute.
Can you unmute, Kelly?
She's already on mute.
Oh, her video is.
Yeah, that's that video. She can speak.
Can you tell us, Kelly, about the police that was arrested in your house?
The police that were arrested in my house were peace constables.
Yeah.
Under common law.
Okay.
So they were not part of
the system.
The police constabulary, not part of the system.
Right. So okay. So it's the peace.
I got it wrong. Sorry, I got it wrong.
Well, it's still an arrest, like a citizen's arrest and stuff. You know, apparently about 100 years ago, police were not allowed to arrest anyone. It's the public who had to do it. The police could only keep the peace. And then it changed. Yeah, so I went through the summary of your story, Kelly, and along the way, along the lines of the various court cases, and you wrote to the solicitor for the council, Kelly, yeah?
Yes.
And you the meeting will end in 10 minutes. So, and you asked him for the receipt for the fee that he paid for the one where they took your child.
Yes.
And what did he say?
That the fee was in the bundle. The fee receipt was in the bundle.
Receipt was in the bundle, right?
Yeah, but I've never been allowed to see the bundle.
No, but why is he telling you it's in the bundle? Why didn't he just send it to you? Why do you think that happened?
Because it's not in the bundle.
You can't pay the fee on a false case. That's the
No.
bottom line. And did the court that was which county court was that? Bristol County Court?
Bristol Family Court, yes.
Yeah, which is the same as the county court. So
Yeah.
have they been able to give you the case management on this case?
No,
So you can lose your child and you can't see the case management?
no. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So back in July 21, when proceedings allegedly commenced, I served the notice on them for the case management file twice, and they haven't complied with it. So I've done it again recently, and again, they haven't complied with it.
And then you also had another case, your repossession. Tell us about the bailiff who served the false papers on you. This guy delivered the papers, and then we found out he was on Companies House as a bailiff.
Oh yeah, he's not a real bailiff, is he?
And he's not on the bailiff register. So they're using an illegal person, because which they can't use the post office. That would be malicious communication. It's still malicious communication because they serve you, everything you've been served so far has been malicious communication as far as I can see.
Counterfeit
Yeah.
documents, yeah.
But to serve that on you and to be pretending it's a legitimate court proceedings, that's malicious communication, isn't it?
I feel harassed, and yes, it is malicious communications. It's basically harassment, isn't it? It's harassing me through counterfeit proceedings and counterfeit documents through the post office.
And they're backing it up with violence.
Yes, that's correct.
So you got illegal documents, counterfeit documents, backed up by a heavy dose of violence, and the violent arm is the police.
Yeah. And not forgetting, Anthony, that I was arrested for not attending court, but I was arrested outside the courtroom, locked up for the evening, taken to court the following day, and they said that I appeared in court the day before. But that was the reason I was arrested. And I've since done a subject access request on that particular case.
Right.
And it's come back that they have no records of it.
Right. So counterfeit all the way. Because not only that, some of the case numbers that you gave me, they're URN numbers.
Not case numbers.
100% that's not a court case.
That's right.
So the Rebecca Lawrence and the CPS, she's the head of the CPS. I was just saying earlier, Max Hill, her boss, is resigning this month. Because people are sending off these requests. Where is the prosecution? They can't produce jack. You know?
Just to add light for the people that are listening, a crime number, which the police create, is not a case number. It's not a court case number. A URN number is not a court case number. A URN number is the number that's created by the CPS.
You want to just say something, Kelly? When is your next? We're going to end it now, but tell us when is your next hearing and what kind of support you want from the public.
My next hearing is the 10th of November at Exeter Crown Court. And I would like to raise awareness to the public what is going on in the court system. And ask them to support me, because it's for all the children.
So
they
are
are falsifying.
Carry on.
They are falsifying proceedings, falsifying a court on counterfeit proceedings, and removing children unlawfully. Yeah.
I'm just gonna share this screen, if I can quickly, with all your where are we? If I can find it. Oh
yes, Anthony, not forgetting that I allegedly assaulted a police officer when I was arrested for not attending court when I was outside the courtroom. But he injured my neck, pushed my head underneath the vehicle of the car. When I was led out on the back seat, I was vulnerable, and obviously I pushed him away from me in self-defense.
And they're saying that's assault, right?
Yeah.
But they're not saying, where is the warrant on which you were arrested for failing to appear?
Again,
There had to be a bench warrant. Yeah.
Just to reiterate, they're sticking a pin in somebody and then them shouting and then them getting you done for shouting. They never get done for sticking the pin into you. So what Kelly just said there was the police.
I was actually injured.
And when she defended herself, she's now being done for defending herself, rightfully.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're
But
dealing
I
with
was
half the crime.
handcuffed. I was handcuffed, led out on the back seat of the vehicle. The officer was asking me to get up. So
Yeah.
I've already been sprayed once in the face with, I don't know what they use.
Mm-hmm.
I was attacked, assaulted by police,
Uh-huh.
sprayed in the face. So he could have done that to me again, or worse.
And who is the chief constable in your area?
I'm not sure.
The lady that is your best friend,
Sarah Crew.
Sarah Crew. And who is the head of your council?
I've got nothing against any of them personally. I just
understand.
ask that they do their job correctly. And they never investigated the court order, alleged court order, in relation to my son. I did report it when it happened, and the police refused to investigate it.
Yeah.
So they can investigate alleged crimes that I've allegedly committed,
Yeah.
but they can't investigate the crimes against my son and I.
Right. That's what it is.
And that's the only thing that I wanted them to do, was investigate the crimes against my son and I in relation to him being unlawfully taken, my property being repossessed. Well, it wasn't
illegally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to leave it there. And the 10th of November, Exeter Crown Court, if anybody can make it down there, they might adjourn it or cancel it because they still can't produce the prosecution. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. And we're going to put some notes up to see what this lady and the whole country is going through it, because, you know, this is how certain small group is making their money. But God bless, yeah?
Okay. God bless all.